Welcome to Rise Entertainment 360. I'm Rita Osakwe, live from Abuja, here with your look at entertainment, arts and culture. We have an exciting show for you today. Two hit stars from BET's The Quad stopped by to talk Season 2 with hosts Shannon and Keturah, but that's a little later in the show. Now let's dive into what's making headlines in entertainment. And a firestorm of criticism continues to dog Melania Trump. Probably not since Jackie Kennedy has the wardrobe of a first lady attracted so much attention. After her whirlwind trip to Texas yesterday to tour an immigrant detention center, Melania stunned the media with the jacket she was wearing. Across the back of the Zara coat were the words, quote, "I don't care, do you?" While the White House was quick to say Melania wasn't making an editorial comment on her husband's immigrant policy, her choice in jackets is being wildly condemned. Her wardrobe malfunction is sowing seeds of backlash. A coat rushed out by apparel company Wildfang carries a counter message, quote, "I really care, don't you?" The initial run of the jackets quickly sold out. The company promises all money from sales will go to help immigrants. And an increasing number of celebs are voicing loud dismay over President Trump's handling of immigrants. Singer Jennifer Lopez calls the government's actions atrocities. She's urging her fans to contact their elected officials, telling them to oppose Trump's zero-tolerance policies. And new mother Eva Longoria says she can't imagine her baby boy being taken from her. Little Santiago was born this past Tuesday. Eva tweeted, quote, "Families belong together, which is why we must do what we can to reunite them." The former Desperate Housewives actress says she's supporting groups that give legal assistance to separated families. Now, ABC may have cancelled the reboot of Roseanne, but the network isn't writing off the Connor family just yet. There's plans for 10 episodes of a new spin-off. This will save about 200 cast and crew jobs that were asked when ABC cancelled Roseanne after her racist tweet. There's no official title for the spin-off just yet, but one thing we know for sure is that Roseanne will not be associated with the program. And Netflix is bringing back the hit series Dear White People for a third season. The controversial program portrays black students on a predominantly white campus and the challenges they face with issues of race, class, and sexuality. The series is based on the film with the same name, created by Justin Simien. We've got much more when Arise 360 returns. Stay with us. Welcome back to Rise 360. Now, our first guest is an actor, director, producer, and writer. The career of Ruben Santiago-Hudson spans nearly 4 decades on the stage and the screen. Recently, Ruben stopped by to chat with our Shannon and Keturah about his role on BET's hit series, The Quad.
So happy to have you on the set with us.
I know, right? And I'm excited about season 2, which kicks off tonight because, yeah, I mean, last season there was a lot going on. Your character got cancer.
Us riveted to our screens last season.
You got knocked down from the king of the band world.
Look how I'm holding up, though. Look at me,
man. Up. So what can we expect this season then?
Oh, just deeper. The Quad just goes deeper, and it goes higher, and it goes lower. So we want to really expand the complexities of all our characters and the arcs of their stories. So everything takes it up a notch or takes it down a notch. So we going in.
I like that. Going in.
Now, when you first discovered that your character was, revealed to have cancer, how did that make you feel?
Well, I didn't wanted to know what my mortality on the show was. Right. Should my agent be calling people?
Right. So y'all trying to kill me off.
Felicia D. Henderson, our showrunner, and she said to me, "You going nowhere?" She said, "When you kick the bucket, no, She said, "I'm leaving." I said, "No, you ain't going." But you never know. I've died on a mini show. And all I want to do is do the best job I can in the time I'm there. And right now I'm still there.
And you're doing a great job. And it's great to see, you know, HBCU thriving, historically black college university that's thriving. But I know you have like 20 degrees, the doctorate, 2 masters, several degrees you've worked on. But you never went to an HBCU, did you?
I sent 2 kids to HBCU.
You sent 2 kids. Okay, so where are you pulling your inspiration from for this character in this show for HBCU?
HBCU is just a small part of just life in itself. The conflicts of life, the complexities of life itself, jealousy, nobility, duty, honor, integrity, anger, love, all the things that make great drama. They're all in the quad, you know, so you don't have to really look far, particularly if you like a black man, you know, so I just, you know, it's my life. It's the life I've lived.
And you guys tackled some serious issues in the black community, and the communities all together, like with, you know, one of the students being raped and some of these sexual assaults going on.
It's very topical issues.
There's nothing that happens. There's nothing that happens in this show that's not a reality. Pretty much the great majority of our staff all from HBCUs. So, you know, come on, we just got to be real. These things happen in life every day. Look at the climate we're living in right now. So we just bring it up. You know, we magnify a lot of things at times. People don't want to see it magnified, but that's drama. This is not a documentary, obviously. It's a nighttime drama. But we deal with reality issues.
And it's the purpose of art, isn't it? To shine a light on the issues that are taking place in society. But let's talk about the first black Disney princess, your co-star, Anika Noni Rose. What is she like to work with?
She's a monster. Because she's coming ready every day. There's no ifs, ands, and buts of what we're going to do. She's going to know her thing, I'm going to know my thing, and we're going to hit it. And I love it. It's like we have some veterans on there like that, and we try to lead the example for the younger ones.
Well, you are like a veteran on this show. What are some of the things of wisdom you impart on the younger actors?
I have a group of them that kind of hang around me, and then I have another group that say, I know it.
Wait, do they hang around? So, do they hang around you with a pen, waiting like?
Pretty much. But they do. They like. I mean, they literally will follow me and say, "Drop it, drop the knowledge, coach, drop the knowledge." I mean, really. And then I drop it. I have 2 that just came to New York to study with me this past week, so they studied with me all week long. They went back, you know, so, but they're eager and curious. Curiosity is going to, like I always tell the young actors, curiosity is your friend. Contentment is your enemy. So long as you're curious, you're going to discover things. You're going to learn.
Do you ever do a master's class?
That's what I just finished the whole week.
Oh, really? Oh, we missed it. Oh, you kidding? Okay, when's it?
He's
you got to do another one.
He's a professor himself.
Yes, and I'm also an actor, so I'm trying to hone in on more of my skills and go deeper with some of my stuff.
I know you got a connection with me, but you know everybody had to audition, like all 200 people.
I auditioned. All I need is a foot in the door. I got you.
I'll get you a foot in the door now. You got to break the door down.
I'm there. I'm there.
Okay, speaking of breaking down barriers, you're also stepping behind the camera this season to direct. So what is that like? I know you've directed before, but what is that like for you?
Well, you know, I'm a stage director, and I mean, this past season, the play that I directed, Jitney, won the Tony Award for Best Revival. And Felicia's had her eye on me, Felicia D. Henderson, our showrunner, for a while, and she invited me in. And I kind of went kicking and screaming because it's never been my real goal to direct TV and film. I do love the stage that much, but I've begun to love directing behind the camera.
Oh, yeah?
It's just like, you know, I feel that I can help, opposed to being a traffic cop. I can actually help deliver an actor's performance to hopefully another level, or give them the kind of support they need and trust to go to another level. So that's how I distinguish myself as a television and film director. I mean, everybody can, not everybody, but most people are technicals. 75 lens, 25 lens, 35 lens. But not a whole lot of people can go and pull you in the corner and say things to you that help you as an artist.
Because you've been there.
Yeah, that's what I've done my whole life.
So how do you direct yourself? Because you're also in the episode you're directing for the quad. Like, how do you direct yourself? You say, look, brother, you're going to have to do this. Okay.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Right, talk to yourself.
Talk to yourself. Give yourself a kick in the pants.
Sometimes I forget that I'm in the scene, and I'll be watching the monitor, and I'll see the actor walking down a path, and I know they're going to come into a 2-shot. And I'm watching them since she's getting ready to walk into a 2. I said, oh, I'm the 2. Then I have to run back and run down the aisle and just kick it in. You kick it right in. But what I never do is direct the other actor while I'm across from them.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'll go to the monitor and I'll look. Maybe I'll call them over and have them look.
To actually be the director in the place of the director as opposed to a colleague.
Right, so get your stuff together before you start telling people what to do while you're standing next to them. So I'll bring them over to join me and say, this is what I think we need to tighten and do better. You know.
So we have to ask, which do you enjoy more, being in front of the camera or behind it?
I love acting tremendously, but the directorial aspect, the writing and the producing, empowers me in a way that I can also enable and empower other people by giving them opportunities. So I'd be remiss if I didn't appreciate that aspect of it, you know, being able to supply opportunities for other people.
Very good. Well, we want to talk more about the opportunities you're supplying and your amazing career when we come back. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll enjoy more.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to Arise Entertainment 360. We're still hanging out with Ruben Santiago-Hudson in the house.
Now we have to talk about, we said before we went on the break that we were talking more about your career, but you started your career on Broadway. What has that been like? Oh, that's incorrect information?
No, I started as an actor, but I was a long way from Broadway. I was at the community center, you know.
So what was the transition to Broadway like?
You know, I don't look at the transitions. I just take the path, and however God reveals it to me, I just take the journey and be prepared. I never knew I'd be on Broadway. I never knew I'd win a couple Tony Awards. I never knew that. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to do something I truly loved, and that was to act, to entertain, and to share myself in the most intimate ways in a public manner. And I just went and learned, and you know, I got my bachelor's, I got my master's, I got my doctorate, and I just kept chugging. And if I can earn something else, I earn something else. But I'm curious. I want to learn. Like I said earlier, I'm never done. I wake up every morning with one reality. I really don't know anything. So I'm out trying to find out all I can. So I seek it. I've had great teachers, instructors. I've had people that helped me. George C. Wolfe, Douglas Turner Ward, Lloyd Richards, all the great directors I've worked with, and I'm just fabric of all the stuff they've given me. I'm part of that fabric.
And I know you've lived, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I know you lived in New York for more than 30 years, and you've been on the stage almost every single one
year,
of
that's
those
my vow.
years. It's like every year you just
That's
got to
your
get back.
vow.
Why
Yeah,
is that
I
a vow
promised
to
my
you?
mother that. My mother said to me, she had visions. She would get visions, and she said, God's going to feed you from the stage. No matter where your career takes you, the stage is where you root it. So every year of my career, I've been on stage. Some years 10 times.
Wow.
You know, when I was really prolific, when I had my own theater company, I had to keep performing to eat. So I would just do play after play after play. You know, so now I just make sure I can get one in.
Right. I got enough time to squeeze one in. Well,
You know,
a lot
I
of people, that would be a dream come true. Just to get one in a year would
Every
be
year.
a dream for some
I've
people.
done over
So
100.
Phenomenal. So what drives you after 40 years?
I don't want to disappoint my mother. You know, the sacrifices she's done for me. I'm an adopted kid. She took me and made something out of me, you know, and I always just wanted to please her. But the thing is, I got 2 big plays coming up. I got to get this in.
Oh, please.
2 big plays coming up. Now, tonight is the big premiere of the Quad, which I'm giddy about.
10 p.m.
But I'm doing Paradise Blue with Blair Underwood off-Broadway, which will start in April. And then right after that, the big announcement yesterday in the paper was Shakespeare in the Park. I'm directing Othello.
Nice.
Wow, that is
Shakespeare in
huge.
the Park, at the Delacorte Theater in Central Park. I'm only the 2nd African-American
Wow,
director on that stage.
congratulations. That's phenomenal.
So I'm just, I get chill bumps thinking about it because it's a pinch yourself moment.
Yeah, but does
It really
Shakespeare
is.
frighten you or excite you?
That's where I got my master's in the classical repertory company in Detroit. So I've been on that stage 3 times starring in classical plays.
Do you think it's important that you're directing a Shakespeare play with the only black person in it?
Well, a lot of times he's not the only black person. I've seen all black casts with a white Othello, and I've seen Othello and Iago both black.
But historically speaking, Othello was supposed to be a Moor, no?
Yes. Which in those days in 1604 Moor meant anything below the Sahara. Didn't necessarily mean the Moroccan and Algerian, which people think.
Yeah.
If you were dark, they called you a Moor. Let's get into history now.
I know, I like this.
deep on us, like,
Historical
taking us to
education.
school.
But this summer, it's like a real big deal, and I haven't really hit me yet. But the Public Theater and Oscar Eustis gave me this invitation to come in, and it was something I couldn't turn down. I had actually put another play, an incredible play, which I'll do next season called Oubladi, which is anyway. That's old. We won't get into. That's another show y'all got to bring me
You
on.
continue to work. Do you think to yourself, I'm successful? Or are you still striving to get to that level of success which will make you and mom happy?
I'm successful because I get up every morning. I'm alive. I have a beautiful family. I do a job that I absolutely love, and I have an opportunity to do well and build my community. And that means the world to me. I'm from a woman that had a rooming house that built the community up in Lackawanna, New York. And I'm just an extension of her. So I can't do what she did. It was the magnitude of what she did was incredible. But I can help in my own way, and that's what I strive to do, and it means the world to me. So I'm successful. Success is what, not in somebody else's estimation, in your estimation.
Right.
Are you happy with you? Do you feel good about who you are when you wake up in the morning? Of course, we're gonna do wrong every now and then and get slapped upside the head. But are you a good person? Are you contributing to the society in a great way or a good way, positive way? That's success.
You definitely are. He definitely is, right?
So I have to ask you, of course, Oscar nominations came out today. Who are you rooting for?
I pay very little attention to it, but I'm hoping that the brothers and the sisters get
Of
recognized.
course! Everybody
You know,
black.
obviously Get Out should get more credit than it's due, and you know, I'm hoping Mudbound and different things. I don't even know if they were nominated.
They were.
But I want,
Happy to know Mary J. 2
I
Oscar
want the
nominations.
sisters and the brothers to be recognized, but I also want them to know recognition from other people that don't really fully understand your culture. Don't
not
seek that too
necessarily
hard.
validation.
others.
Right.
You know, the validation is from you and God and the people around you that love you. That's the real.
All right, well, always dropping knowledge
What
down
an
here. Thank you for the
inspirational way to
wisdom.
end.
That was a great interview. Be on the lookout for more with Ruben Santiago-Hudson. After this break, we'll be joined by another star from BET's The Quad. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us. Welcome back to Rise Entertainment 360. Now, our next guest is also from BET's The Quad. Jake Allyn plays Bojan Folsom, a college football quarterback dealing with family issues and a biracial relationship. Here's Shannon and Keturah's interview with one of the rising stars on TV.
It's both, okay?
Hi, I'm always going to be white. And
Yes. Thank you for having
How
me.
are you, Jake?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here in New York.
Wow, fantastic. Now, you have to tell us all about your character, Bojan Folsom,
Yes.
on The Quad.
Yes.
Dish.
Bojan is a fish out of water here at this HBCU, obviously. He is a small-town Texas kid, and he was a big high school football recruit.
Right.
And he lost all of his big, you know, SEC type big football scholarships because he got in this big fight with his high school coach. And Eva Fletcher, president of Georgia A&M University, played by the wonderful Anika Noni-Rose,
Yes.
kind of takes a chance on this kid to see if he can revamp this struggling football program. So
And does he?
Bojan, he's working on it. He's doing his best, I can promise you that. But as many freshmen in college, it's not a perfect road.
Yeah. Well, you know, here in the U.S., it's usually the shoe on the other foot where a lot of the African-American students go to all-white colleges, but you're at a HBCU, which means historically black
Predominantly
college
white.
and university.
I don't know
Yeah,
that there are any
predominantly.
all-white colleges.
Okay,
Right.
predominantly white college, you're right.
Right.
But this time, your character is going to a predominantly black school. So how was that experience for you
It's
being in this
it's been
type of
amazingly
environment?
educational because of that. There aren't that many stories like this.
Yes.
And so for me, I barely knew what HBCUs were before when I first read the pilot. On the title page, it had some statistics about HBCUs, and I was like, hold on, before page one, I had to go Google something, you know what I mean, to figure out what exactly all these HBCUs were and how a bunch of them were actually in Atlanta where we shoot and things like that. So for me, I've just been learning alongside with Bo, you know, which is really cool for me.
Oh, wow. Now, you mentioned having to Google some of these terms and some of these HBCUs. What other sort of research did you have to undergo to get you ready for this role?
You know, at the beginning, I didn't do that much because my character was this small town kid that had been in this little tiny Texas football bubble, you know what I mean? You know, because he was that kid, I didn't want to do much research. But then with season 2, which is the second semester, and he's been at school for a while, I tried to do the opposite and visit other HBCUs in Atlanta and around Georgia and things like that. And my roommate on the show, this guy here, Miles Stroder, he actually went to Morehouse. So I like to say he's kind of my HBCU guru.
Right. He knows all about that experience.
Exactly.
Well, at least you know about the football experience, because is it true you got a full ride to college yourself on a football scholarship?
I played football at Cornell University.
Oh, okay, not to brag or anything. I went to Cornell University and I also got a scholarship.
4 year, all right.
That's amazing.
So is this like reliving your college days and be back on the field?
It's a little
suited up?
different. But now, you know what the beautiful thing is? One, I get paid.
Oh,
So it's
hey.
nice. So technically, I'm a professional football player.
Oh,
like,
true.
I'm just saying,
I like
like,
the way
let's
you
just
say
say.
it.
And I don't have to take the vicious hits because I get a stunt double when we do some of the bigger stuff.
That's
so
perfect.
my mom is like, you never should have played football. You should have just been acting your whole life.
All right, Mom.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
she's behind it for sure.
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
What has this acting journey been like for you? For someone whose mother is clearly incredibly proud of the path that he's chosen to take, how have you found it?
It's been really interesting because I actually found acting kind of via football. When football was coming to an end for me at the end of college, I knew I was going to have a big void in my life with this entertainment part, the shining part that I love about football, playing in front of a crowd and all of that stuff, and the competitive part as well, to be honest. And when I started acting, I started to realize I got the same feeling right before doing a scene that I got right before a game. And so once I really started to feel that and feel the same type of butterflies and excitement, I knew that acting was for me.
Oh,
for sure.
wow.
Well, you've been making sort of like home movies with your brother, even growing up, your brother Connor, and you're still working together now. What was that like, working with him then and working with him now?
It was cool. I was when I was a kid, I was basically the ultimate stunt man. I thought it was cool. I thought he was giving me like a cool job, like to be the stunt guy in his movies. But then I realized that I just was the guy that he wanted to push out of a tree or like stab with fake knives.
And this is your older brother?
My older brother.
Yeah, elder kids.
So he tricked me. You know, he's still tricking me to this day. But it was definitely a little more exciting to make. I made a movie with him last year called Overexposed, and to work with him on that level was pretty exciting. And the movie was a small town thriller set in Oklahoma. So the difference between shooting this very small rural movie in Oklahoma and the Quad, which is this this great big BET show. We have huge football numbers, huge band numbers. In the episode tonight, there's a big band competition. You know, these huge setups, and so to have both in my life is really cool.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So would you say you have your brother to thank for your career as an actor now?
I think for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first started acting, it was going on to his sets and just watching and getting inspired and seeing what I wanted to do within the industry. I knew I liked movies, I liked TV, all that, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to be a writer or maybe I wanted to follow in his footsteps and be a director. And then, but once I really started to go on his sets and things like that, and get behind the whole process of it all.
You're like, I want to be famous.
Yeah, basically.
But you are
How can I get into these situations with cool pictures of myself in the background, you know?
But you are doing more writing. You did Forsaken. You just did that. You
I am a
co-wrote
writer
that.
as well.
So you're getting some more dabbling in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You think you're going to do any directing as well?
We'll see. We'll see. I can barely master my own parts, so I don't know if I can handle everybody else's character too.
Right, that's a lot.
So on the subject of being a writer and director, who would you say your dream collaboration is?
Ooh, I love probably Taylor Sheridan and or Ryan Coogler. Both of those guys. Yeah,
Man
when
of
Fruitvale
the
Station
moment.
came out. Yeah, but even before with Fruitvale Station, when I saw that movie.
See, this
I
is
was
how
like, oh my
you know
God.
that he knows
Yeah.
his stuff. Because
knows
I'm
his
like,
stuff.
what? Wow. No,
We need to leave.
Don't
we need to
embarrass
go
me.
there.
All right, now let's go. It was an indie hit. It was underground.
Yeah.
Not as many people saw it, but it got
Yeah.
rave reviews, critically acclaimed, and you know that one of the things is savaged his relationship with Michael B. Jordan and them
course.
doing all their projects
Yeah.
together
I
because
think
of
they
that.
made a movie kind of recently that did all
Really?
right.
Oh, what was
I
that
can't
called?
remember the name.
Could it, was it the one that was set in
Black Panther, maybe?
Wakanda?
Forever. Go ahead, get in, Jake. Get in, Wakanda, forever.
Okay, Jake, so what's next for you?
I mean, to be honest, right now I'm enjoying watching the show come out every Tuesday night with everyone.
Are you involved in
kind
the
of
live tweeting and
Oh,
everything?
always. I love the response that we get, especially with all the social issues that we bring up.
Yes.
It's fun when you get the fun responses and things like that, and the fun gifs and the memes and all that stuff. But I think even more so when someone says like, you know, the storyline about sexual assault in season 1 that we went into, when people were really affected by that, like seeing that on Twitter is a whole nother deal.
Yeah, because a lot of people just think it's supposed to be surface, it's football, it's college, but when you guys are dealing with, rape on a college campus and really issues that are going on in society today, how do you deal with those things and how do you address them on social media?
I mean, I think just trying to be, at least within the show, it's trying to be as truthful as possible, and that's why some of the stuff is surface, because that's college. In college, you're going to parties, you're hooking up, you're getting into trouble, you're figuring life out and things like that, and you're having fun. But at the same time, at college right now, they're like, sexual misconduct is an absolute epidemic. You know what I mean?
You recently just had I can't remember his name, but the guy who was sent to jail whilst in college for raping a girl. And recently the girl has just come out to say that it was all a lie, it was all fictitious.
Really? Yeah,
you know?
I mean,
so these are real life issues.
And in the first season, they definitely tried to honor those type of things by creating a storyline that was a bit of a who did it type, who is always at fault, is the man always at fault, is this or that,
But it was done so tastefully and so
great
respectfully.
writers.
Yeah, you guys did a great job. And I want to end on a happy note, so
Yeah.
a little more light. Since you learned a lot while on the show, talk to us about some of the things you learned about urban or black culture while you've been there. So maybe slang words.
You are trying to make this man put his foot in there.
No, come on. You
I
had
would
to
say
learn
the
some
top,
fun stuff, or
the
even
top
some
two,
dances, something.
Probably the top two terms I learned were bet.
Bet? You
That's
know
a bet.
That's
Didn't know what that meant.
Bet, man. Yeah.
And now it's really just caught on, period. But
Yeah.
when we were first doing the
Please don't say
when we were
bits.
first doing when we were first doing the pilot, though, fire.
Oh, that's
Like, oh, that's
that's
fire.
fire.
That's fire.
Yeah.
When we were first doing the pilot, that was not really a big
You were like, where's the
term.
fire?
And I was like,
What's going
where?
on?
I'm fired? I'm off the show. You know what I mean? I thought I was getting fired every day.
But now you say it with such conviction.
Say
it's
it,
like,
go
that's
on,
fire.
Jake, go on.
Yeah, I mean, that's fire.
That's
You guys are fire. We're fire.
Yes!
All right, well, you continue to be fire on
All
the
right.
show. You guys make sure you check it out tonight on BET and every Tuesday on BET, 10 p.m. It is an amazing show.
It's
And
fire.
please tell Nika
It's
Noni
fire.
Rose I said hello.
Well, that does it for us here at Arise Entertainment 360. I'm Rita Osakwe, live from Abuja. See you next week.